Hello everyone, and welcome to the Sideboard here at the Atlanta Open Series featuring the Invitational. I'm Glenn Jones, and I'm here with Chris VanMeter.
Hello.
Chris, you're back on the grind, as it were.
Yes.
It's been just a flash return to the scene. You got a PTQ top 8 under your belt. Here you are at the Invitational, duking it out. And you came for the Legacy portion with something, I'd say, a little outside your usual wheelhouse.
Definitely. I am. I feel I'm fairly competent with the card Brainstorm, which tends to define this format. But like, I didn't play very much last year. In fact, I haven't played a game of Legacy since Deathrite Shaman was printed, which has changed the format quite a bit. So I kind of wanted to play like the least interactive deck, like with that card, like the easiest decision trees. I was going to try and play Hive Mind, because I feel like it could be good right now, but I know this Deathrite Shaman gives them red mana, and they can pay for Pact of the Titans, so I bugged Ali Andrazio I came down with to let me play this deck since he decided not to play it, and I've been pretty happy with it so far.
And this deck is Metalworker, or Mud, or Mono Red Welder, whatever, various names for the deck. I prefer Metalworker, and basic premise of the deck, obviously, you've got your mana engine here with Grim Monolith, Metalworker, Voltaic Key, to let you just start casting things very fast. Among those things are some really disruptive elements, especially great in this field where you can expect a lot more of the good fair decks and the really unfair decks, which are both broken pretty heavily by Chalice of Wood and Trinisphere.
Definitely. Chalice has been the best card all day for me. Chalice on turn 1 is just backbreaking to a lot of decks. In fact, first round, day 2, I played against Burn. And so I'm just like, turn 1 Chalice on game 1 and just blank 5 cards in his hand. Like, just absolutely no way he can win. Also, like, there's Brainstorms, like the Esper Stoneblade decks are playing like Thoughtseize and Inquisition now. Plow, like, it's really good at protecting Metalworker from all the 1-mana removal spells.
It also serves to preserve your Lodestone Golem, who is himself an additionally disruptive element, and quite the clock at 5 power. You can easily end the game in 3 or 4 turns.
Juggernaut's pretty good. It's vintage playable, so
that's very true. Moving on, you have an actual combo finish once you're done, just screwing with them, I guess, in this middle row cards.
Absolutely.
You have Goblin Welder and Kuldotha Forgemaster, which both can create a variety of engines, depending on what you're actually doing, but you've got a real selection of sweet bullet spells here. Obviously, Metalworker Staff of Domination, for those not in the know, can create an infinite loop.
That's correct. All you need is 3 artifacts in your hand, 6 mana, infinite mana, draw your deck, kill your opponent. Yeah,
at a minimum, Metalworker Staff or Grim Monolith Voltaic Staff, you can still get a little bit of an advantage going. Drawing an extra card or 2 a turn is really not that difficult. You got Goblin Welder can do the same trick.
Yep.
But why don't you run us through the bullets, because some of them pretty easy to explain. I think we can all know when you might want to search for a Sundering Titan, for example. But what about the Steel Hellkite, Worm Coil Engine, Mirror Battlesphere, and Blightsteel Colossus?
Well, Blightsteel Colossus, you're usually going to go for that and kill your opponent, like if you have Greaves and Chalice on 1, because then they just have no outs to it. If like you don't have a Chalice or a Greaves and you're just trying to get value, Sundering Titan is next. Because you're just going to kill their lands. If they kill it, you get to kill more lands. If it's against a deck where Sundering Titan isn't very good, then you get Mirror Battlesphere. Battlesphere is also very good against Jace because it gives you additional permanents to go along with it.
Bounce them,
Worm Coil Engine is good against like Rug Delver, since like you just gain some life and there's no way they can come back. It's also good against Burn if you happen to play against Burn, but I feel like the rest of the deck is pretty good against it. Steel Hellkite is actually really good against Dredge. So like if you can't go get your Blightsteel Colossus to kill them, then you get Steel Hellkite and then they can just like kill all their tokens and their Lion's Eye Diamonds. And like it's also not bad against Rug Delver, but Sundering Titan just destroys them. So.
Yeah. There's a healthy amount of elves. I imagine it'd be okay in that matchup.
Yeah, Steel Hellkite's
well.
also very good against elves too.
Okay. Note that for Sundering Titan, obviously, your deck has no basic lands.
Yes.
As though that were necessary to get an advantage off of Sundering Titan. It's not. But you do have access to Great Furnace and Darksteel Citadel as artifact lands to synergize with your Goblin Welder, and plus, Kuldotha Forgemaster free rolls, right?
Yep. Sometimes you have to have them. There's a lot of times, like when you're going off early, like you might have like Lightning Greaves, Forgemaster, and Metalworker, but like you have to keep the Lightning Greaves to kill them with Blightsteel Colossus. So like having one of your artifact lands lets you keep the Lightning Greaves away and keep it. Also, I feel like one of the reasons this deck is like actually playable again is because of Cavern Souls as a land. Like being able to play this guy on 1 against the Force Soul decks, not being able to counter is awesome. It also lets you play through Chalice of the Void. So if your Chalice is on 1, you Cavern for Goblin and cast your Goblin Welder. It still triggers, but it can't be countered.
It's quite tricky. Moving over to your sideboard, it's unique, I would say. You don't have the full 15 one-ofs, but you came close. You tried.
Close.
We have 13 unique cards here, and most of them I think we can kind of guess as to where they'd come in. The additional Trinispheres, Lodestone Golems, Worm Coil Engines. These aren't that tricky. Relic of Progenitus, where would you cite that in? But the top row of cards here, pretty interesting. Why don't we start with Duplicate and Spine of Ishsa? Again, cards I don't think a lot of people expect to see people playing in Legacy.
Absolutely, those are primarily for the Show and Tell matchup.
Okay.
You can also bring them in against Reanimator. It's not half bad, but a lot of times when they just like Show and Tell and an Emrakul and you just play Duplicate or Spine, they're just completely dead.
Sure.
Especially if it's Duplicate, they're just literally dead the next turn. It's also good against Crystal Band. Like they might be able to draw 7 cards, which hurts, but like once you actually get Spine in play. Like even if you play like Metalworker on one, and they Show and Tell again, you're like, well, I'll just get rid of my Spine and put it back in my hand, and then kill whatever you put into play. Makes
sense. And the last card, one I confess, all of these cards I think I've seen at some point or another, basically in Legacy, at some point in my life. But Bottled Cloister is not one of them. And you said to me before we even started doing the deck tech, you wanted more Bottled Cloister. So where are we cloistering?
I definitely wanted more Bottled Cloistering. And it's really funny too because I haven't actually cast the spell. Like every time I've had it, I didn't need it, but the card is just very good right now. Jund is still popular. It's very good against Jund. It's also good against like the control decks, so like Stoneblade and Miracles. Just because like they're going to 1-for-1 you and then pull ahead with Jace, and that's like your artifact Jace. Like it allows you to continue to draw cards and then protect the cards that you draw against their discard spells, because that's really the only way they're going to beat you is with their discard spells.
Sure, that makes sense. And obviously you can use things like your Chalice and Trinisphere to help you protect the Cloister, which is a big deal.
Exactly, and I mean it slows the game down for them. Not so much for us because like our deck is built to play around Chalice and Trinisphere, but like those cards slow the game down, and then Cloister just takes over. Like it's a one-sided Howling Mine that blanks all their discard spells.
Interesting. Well, there you go, guys. Chris, you're off to a fine start on day 2, I believe. You're 2-0.
Yep, 2-0 today.
All right. Well, good luck. Got a few more to go. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.